Tonight, a Washington County man is facing federal charges related to the U.S. Capitol riots, even though apparently he never stepped foot inside.
It's what the FBI says he did outside that might be the most severe allegations yet for a Utahn tied to the January 6th insurrection. Fox 13's Lauren Steinbrecher explains what sets this case apart.
Much of the focus on the January 6th insurrection has centered around what happened inside the Capitol. But this latest case,
it's a little different than some of the other cases because he didn't go in the Capitol.
Says Greg Skordas, defense attorney and former prosecutor not tied to this case. See that man in the blue sweatshirt with red collar? The FBI says that's Landon Kenneth Copeland from southern Utah. What he allegedly does next with the metal barricade landed him federal charges. According to the federal complaint, Copeland, who, based on his social media, works as an excavator in Washington County near Hilldale, took a week off of work to fly to D.C. An FBI analyst says these photos of Copeland and his girlfriend were posted to Facebook. The FBI identified Copeland, then found him in Capitol Police footage, YouTube, and Instagram videos, right at the front of the protest line near the Capitol steps. The FBI says the videos show Copeland and others trying to breach the police line, with Copeland shouting at officers. The complaint says Copeland pushed someone into an officer, causing the officer to fall, grabbed an officer by the jacket, then tried to pull the metal fence barricade away from police. Police pepper sprayed the crowd, the complaint says, and Copeland threw or pushed the metal fence onto multiple officers.
The people that went inside and caused damage are largely charged with burglary or destruction of property, that type of thing. But outside, this is an assault. This is an assault on a federal officer. This is a physical confrontation with a federal law enforcement officer.
The 4 charges Copeland faces include assault, resisting or impeding an officer, and violent entry or disorderly conduct on Capitol grounds. Copeland told the FBI he got into a fight with officers. Add that with this evidence.
The fact that there are multiple pictures of each of the people that they're charging and multiple pictures of them in the act of committing the crime makes this a pretty compelling case for the prosecution.
Copeland, who posted that he's a former U.S. Army sergeant, was vocal about his case with the FBI on social media and last wrote this on Wednesday. "They are trying to hunt us all down to try and teach us a lesson," he wrote. "Unfortunately, only one option remains when we return. We bring guns and take the Capitol building without intention of being peaceful. This ends with the government bombing their own people. I had hopes it wouldn't, but here we are." Lauren Steinbrecher, Fox 13 News, Utah.
As we mentioned, Copeland is one of 5 Utahns who are facing charges for their alleged involvement in the U.S. Capitol riots. The others include Jake Pert of Tokerville, Brady Knowlton of St. George, former Salt Lake Police Detective Michael Harden, and John Sullivan of Tooele County. They all face a range of federal charges such as violent entry or disorderly conduct on U.S. Capitol grounds, assaulting a police officer, obstruction of law enforcement during civil disorder, demonstrating and picketing in a Capitol building. You can read about each suspect at fox13now.com.